Joe Gates would have been up there.
Yeah, I know.
I believe I get that kind of crap.
On the right side. On the right side.
But they were like.
On the right side.
Senator coming through. Wake up. Senator coming through.
What'd you do to yourself?
Hey, he's a hard-working man.
Yes, Johnny.
How you doing? How are you doing?
First on this. What you doing? Fall?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
75.
That's good what I've got.
What's that? I know the chamber, the state chamber is trying to perform that.
Looks like we're going to have a crowd.
You're okay with it? I'd like to hear from you. They like to have real people in town rather than just,
First of all,
you're still considered a real person. Unlike gambling.
Wish I could do this skiing. You know, there's been a cheers and skiing. Doesn't know where to go.
Oh, out there?
He's a very good skier. Doesn't know he should go to
How are you, Bill?
or outside.
Mary's been to Park City and really liked it. But I've never skied out there. Now we usually always ski in Colorado.
Mike Thompson's there behind. Hey, Mike. Can you reach in my pocket?
Well, they're finally getting
Senator,
some
I see
results.
Good.
fishing this weekend. Starting to the ball.
Not at the Lake of the Ocean. She said about the action about the all the way over I don't think anybody can. Ice skating. How much sleep Thank you. We might as well. So good to see you. What you
Good to see you. Thanks for coming today. Appreciate it.
How are you? Nice to see
Good luck with that. Maybe he's got his checkbook today. We can just get this out of the way.
Make sure you're in good hands.
Excuse me, sorry.
Careful, careful. Don't want to end up like this under my sweater.
Yeah, what'd he do? Fall? Oh, no, he got
All right, I'm going back downstairs.
The issue you're talking about is only I don't know if my size
What is the order of things? I thought 741 was credits for. That was the order.
Yeah, that was the list of them.
get it ironed out.
Doesn't always.
Yes, we found this gentleman.
Okay, can I get everyone to take their seats, please?
Roman, can we open this door and the door going out so I can bounce between committees?
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how much time to
No,
allot to each.
this one
of
I'm
these
gonna go out
hearings.
that way and out through the hallway so I don't trample these people each time.
If I can have a show of hands, how many people are here to testify on Senate Bill 741? One? No, one, two? All right, very good. How many people are here to testify on Senate Bill 692? One, two. Very good. How many people are here to testify on Senate Bill 606? All right, Senator Nasheed, where are you at? I'm going to push these first, and I'm going to give you the remainder of the time, and I think you'll have more time than if I were to just give you 30 minutes. All right. Very good. So we're going to go out of order. First thing we're going to do is we're going to call roll. Madam Secretary, call the roll. Here.
Colonel? Wolf? Here.
We have a quorum, excellent. First thing we do is we're going to go into executive session so we can take care of these bills before we have our hearing. Make a motion to go into executive session, and it was seconded by Senator Parson, who hadn't even sat down and still beat you to the punch. We are now in executive session, and what do we have here? Senator Munzlinger, would you like to make a motion?
Yeah, I move that we adopt Senate Bill 663, in which the chairman, I do have a second.
Okay, Senate Bill 663, you made the motion that we do pass Senate Bill 663. I will second that motion. This is the one that requires health benefit plans to establish equal out-of-pocket costs covered for oral and intravenous administered chemotherapy medications. You have a substitute. Has your substitute been distributed? Yes, it has. Would you like to explain your substitute?
The substitute, the language verbiage in the bill stays the same, it just changed the title from relating to oral chemotherapy issue relating to healthcare, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. Your substitute changes the title. Very good. This is the oral chemo bill that he offered. He has a substitute that changes the title. Is there any discussion on the adoption motion of the Senate substitute? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting the Senate substitute, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. You have adopted the Senate committee substitute. Senator, would you like to make a motion?
I move that we adopt the Senate committee, approve the Senate committee substitute.
He has made the motion that we do pass the Senate committee substitute, Senate Bill 663. I will second that motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Secretary, call the roll.
Senator Root,
Aye.
Parson,
Aye.
Linzinger,
Aye.
Wallingford,
Aye.
Watson,
Aye.
Pearl,
Aye.
Walsh,
Aye.
By your vote of 7-0, you have due pass Senate Bill 663 with the Senate committee substitute. We'll make a motion for Senate Bill 668. That was Senator Sylvie's bill that dealt with the same bill, the same topic. Does not have a substitute, so you will have a lot of different titles, but it dealt with the same issue. I need a second on that motion to adopt. It was seconded by Senator Parson. Any discussion on the adoption motion of Senate Bill 668? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, call the roll.
Root,
Aye.
Parson,
Aye.
Linzinger,
Aye.
Wallingford,
Aye.
Watson,
Aye.
Pearl, Walsh,
Aye.
By your vote of 7-0, you have due pass Senate Bill 668. All right, I will make the motion that we do pass Senate Bill 617. This is one of my bills that dealt with the preservation of rights for insurance companies, seconded by Senator Munzlinger. This dealt with the trying to establish whether or not there is coverage when we have insurance policy determining if there is coverage and who has to provide the defense. There is a substitute. There are no major differences from the final bill. There were some tiny things changed. Senate committee substitute does not specify the initiation of a declaratory action by the insurer to seek judicial determination of coverage. What? Who wrote this? All right. Not doing that today. It's not clear enough. What else is up? That will conclude our executive session today. We are now in our regular session. First up, let's try to get through these, because I know Senator Nasheed brought half of her district to testify. And we are going to go Senator Watson, do you have a bill?
I do, sir.
Let's do you first.
Oh, I love this chair. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Senator Jay Wasson, representing the people of the 20th Senate District, to introduce Senate Bill 692, please. I'll give I think you'll probably have people testifying on both sides of this issue. I'll give you a thumbnail of what I believe it does. Basically, if an insurance company does not cover a procedure or an item, we don't feel like they should tell you what you can charge for it. If they cover it, they can. If they don't, they shouldn't. We did legislation similar to this in dentistry last year. I'll give you one example of how this can kind of work against your local optometrist. Let's just say you're an optometrist in the St. Louis, Kansas City area. Maybe you do, there's a Ford or a GM plant close. Maybe you've got several hundred patients who work for Ford. Ford does a new contract with an insurance company. You're forced to either sign that contract or lose several hundred of your patients, even though it's not a contract that you really want to take. That's kind of why these optometrists end up in these situations. It's basically, like I said, you're being told what you have to charge for items that the insurance company does not cover. And that's really all we're saying. And I do have some witnesses, and I would entertain any questions.
Very good. So let me sum up. So this is something like you don't cover the thing in your plan, but they dictate what
Exactly.
you have to charge your customer.
That's precisely it.
Okay, very good. Any questions of the bill sponsor? Seeing none, call your first witness.
Thank you.
Anyone in favor of Senator Wasson's legislation?
I was told I would have one. Apparently I do not.
Apparently not.
Okay.
Well, the door's opening. Are you here to testify in favor of Senator Wasson's bill?
You're here. Okey dokey, better late than never.
Well, I think he probably wanted to give up his chair for someone
Yeah,
else.
that's my kind of people.
That's right.
So nice,
You're
they didn't
so
want-
giving.
Didn't want to pick up a chair.
Welcome, sir. State your name, and before you begin, everyone that is going to testify today needs to fill out a witness form, and you need to turn those in to the lady sitting next to me. That is so we have your written, we know who you are and stuff. If you don't have one, just after you have presented, just grab a piece of paper off, fill it out at your leisure, and you can turn it in to her after the hearing. Please proceed.
Thank you. Can you hear me? My name is Dr. Jason Lake. I'm a practicing optometrist in Warrensburg, today in the Clinton areas. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen of the committee today, for letting me testify on behalf of Senate Bill 692. I've been in practice for about 16 years, and in 1998, when I first started in practice, vision care plans represented about 30% of my patient volume. In 2014, I estimate that number will be close to 65%. When I signed on for plans in 1998, the contracts made sense to me as much as they could. I don't have a large legal team to look at them, but the problem being is in 2014, those contracts are annually modified by the vision care plans themselves. They do not offer me that courtesy. They decide what they're going to pay and how those are going to work. And again, my only way to respond to that is to simply not take the plan. And as you've heard by the numbers that I think are pretty representative here in Missouri, that's a pretty quick ticket to bankruptcy. You're not going to feed your family real well if you're not taking 65% of your patients. During, and especially in a small town area like I am, when they represent an industry where it's a large number of people, you don't really have an option not to take them. During this last 16 years in practice, my costs of goods have continued to go up, and my reimbursements have not only not gone up, in some cases they've even been cut a little bit. Products, we know that when we take vision plans, they're going to cut, you take a cut, that's a fair trade. They negotiate the prices for the patient and for covered services. Sometimes my fees are cut more than 50%, and that's fine. But the newest tactics where we're continuing to see a squeeze in the profession is to compromise on free market principles. They're asking me to discount things that they don't cover. So the areas that I can make up for maybe having to take a cut in, I'm no longer able to do that. My patients, I can choose to charge whatever I want. I have patients that walk into my office in a rural area every single day. Some go to the internet, some go to the large box retailers just up the road. And that's how a free market's supposed to work. I'm not going to be able to provide everything to everybody. And I get that, that's business, and I'm okay with that. But when I'm not allowed to dictate that between myself and my patient, when everything is handed to me, it's very tough for me to compete. Opposition from this bill primarily comes from large conglomerates that have vertically integrated to the point that they sell the insurance plan to the patient. They sell to me the actual frames and the lenses a lot of times that I'm actually selling to the patient. And they also, a lot of them have their own retail locations where they're competing against me. They've vertically integrated the model at every aspect where they're competing with me and selling to me. They're getting it coming and going, so to speak. So at this point, this provides a lot of vertical pressure to a small businessman such as myself here in the state of Missouri to be competitive. They can cut their own people a better discount and expect me to be able to compete with that, and I'm not part of that supply chain. I understand I need vision plans to stay in business, and I think that they do a lot of good for the state of Missouri, and I think they do good for my practice. I'm not anti any of that. What I also need here in the state of Missouri is the ability to compete. I need to be able to sell maybe better quality products. I need to get better services, and especially in a rural area, I see an awful lot of senior citizens. We have to provide a lot of comprehensive medical care, and I can't see these folks fast. These folks need the personalized service they can expect and get only, I think, from a small business. In the state of Missouri's wisdom last year, they passed a similar bill for dentistry. In many of our surrounding states, including Kentucky and Texas, have also passed versions of this for optometry in their states, and many other states around us are also looking at very similar language to this. What this bill essentially does is it levels the playing field in Missouri for small businesses versus these large companies that really have a monopoly. It allows me to have an interaction with my patient. And at the end of the day, insurance will still control prices on their covered services. They still negotiate that. I still agree to take that. So the citizens of Missouri will still receive those benefits. This should not have any increase on premiums to the citizens of the state of Missouri either. I want to thank you for allowing me to testify today, and I'd be happy to answer any questions to the best of my ability.
Very good. Thank you for your testimony. Is there any questions of this witness? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony. Senator, do you have any other witnesses to support?
I don't believe I do.
Anyone else to support? Anyone in opposition? This is not the title bill.
Good afternoon, Jim Durham on behalf of the Exotica Group. And I guess we're the bad guys they're talking about. Let me try and explain what this type of insurance, and we really can't even call it insurance. Eye care plans, can you hear me? Eye care plans basically are very minimum premium products. It in turn then covers things like your eye exam, covers a portion of frames, covers various other treatments that you would receive from the optometrist, and some products as well. Where we have, I guess, a bargain with the optometrist is, yes, there are some services where we cap the fee and expect them to provide that service at that cost, which, by the way, is still above their cost. Some of these things are the lens coatings, if you have like the photo-gray lenses, or if you want the scratch-resistant coating, items such as that, they have a fixed charge that they're supposed to use. Again, one that still covers their cost. What they come to you for is to ask you to basically write a better contract for them. And frankly, we're very much opposed to the idea of the state coming in and saying, this is how you will contract with people who have entered into the agreement freely. The reason why they enter into these is, just as the gentleman testified, sales volume. Luxottica, or IMED, which is a portion of Luxottica, has over 900,000 insured in Missouri. So yes, that is a big group that would be coming to them for these services. They're also correct, we make the frames. Luxottica is probably the largest manufacturer of frames, lenses, contacts, etc. What is in their market, in their store, frames that they have for $100, let's say, they're paying Luxottica $7 to $12 for those frames. We're asking them to give a 20% discount to customers from that $100. And I think you can readily figure out there's still profit over the cost of goods. What we're concerned about with this bill is the reason why this eye care plan works is it's cheap. The premiums are low. Therefore, a lot of employers can provide this coverage as just a benefit of employment because it doesn't entail a great deal of expense to them. In turn, it means that more people in Missouri have something that helps them pay for their eye care and gets them into the optometrist shop in order to have the treatment or the examination they need. By our calculation, if we change the plan as we have it at current and start having to reimburse them for all of their expenses, we're looking at a 23.8% increase in the premium. Now, the real effect of that then is a lot fewer people are going to be insured. Employers are not going to be interested in paying 25% more for a benefit that is of minimum value. In turn, if we don't pass on the premium cost, then what the customer is going to receive is 42% increase in the customer's cost. The average expenditure by a customer in an eye care store today is about $155. With the coatings and things like that taken away, that cost goes up to about $220. Now, that's ones who are covered by our plan. Finally, in a sense, what they're asking for is cutting off their nose to spite their face. They may be economically impelled to join IMED, but they're right. We're their competitors out there. We own lens crafters. We own Penny's Vision Care, Sears Vision Care, Target Vision Care. We can provide the exact same benefits to them through this plan. We take other insurance. We're only the second largest insurer in the nation. There are larger ones and there are several other plans. We accept those on these same terms. And we're just asking basically that the legislature not rewrite the contract that people freely entered into.
Very good. Any questions for this witness? Seeing none, thank you for your testimony.
How do you want to talk about the title?
Not yet, but you'll be back. Anyone else testify in opposition?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be much more brief than Mr. Durham.
That's much appreciated.
My name is Mark Rhodes. I appear on behalf of Humana and MetLife, both of whom offer vision plans in the state of Missouri. And I'm not going to reiterate what Jim said. I mean, I would take some exception to the notion that discounts on non-covered services are new. These have been in place for years and years and years. And they've been in the contract that is freely agreed to and signed by both parties. You know, if you don't like what you're signing, don't sign it. Don't go to the legislature and ask them to fix it. We talked about volume. The reason that these providers do sign the contracts is the volume that they enjoy by virtue of the contracts. I guess my final point is, I think it's been said,